Welcome to the Deep Dive. You're here because, well, you want to get smart fast.
Exactly.
And today, we've got something pretty substantial for you. It's basically a shortcut to understanding a massive conversation.
Yeah, this 40,000 word exchange with Bill Gates, it's pretty comprehensive.
Totally. Think of it like your cheat sheet to his, current thinking on
Oh, wow.
everything. AI, global health, climate.
Education, the future. It's all in there.
Right. So we've waded through it all to pull out the really essential stuff for you.
And it's not just summarizing, is it? It's about getting into the why behind his views on these, frankly, critical issues shaping our world.
Yeah, looking for those connections between topics that might seem separate at first glance.
Highlighting what really stands out, what matters most in his perspective right now.
Okay, so let's maybe start near the beginning.
Yeah.
His early days, Microsoft.
Right, that whole origin story.
He talks about this wild belief he had,
Mhm.
putting a computer in every home, every office.
Which sounds almost mundane now, doesn't it? But
Yeah.
back then.
People thought he was nuts. Seriously. It really highlights the sheer conviction he must have had.
And persistence, right. It wasn't just a vague idea. It seems like it was this deep-seated belief in where tech was going.
You have to wonder what specific things he was seeing,
Yeah,
in the tech, in the market,
yeah.
that made him so sure when others weren't.
Exactly. What gave him that confidence in the face of all that skepticism?
And that conviction, well, it led to him leaving Harvard. The famous story.
Mm-hmm.
But his take on it now is interesting. He doesn't just say everyone should drop out.
No, definitely not. He frames it as recognizing a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Like you see this specific pivotal moment and you have to take a calculated leap. It wasn't just impulse.
That's a key distinction, I think. It was a bet on a very specific future he saw for personal computing.
So when he advises young people not to necessarily follow his path.
Yeah, it just underlines how unique he felt that moment was. It needed something truly exceptional to justify that kind of move.
Okay, so fast forward decades.
Mm-hmm.
And the big topic is AI, obviously.
Huge topic for him.
He calls it the most transformative tech since the internet, maybe even bigger.
Wow. That was a big statement.
Yeah, he sees potential everywhere.
Yeah.
Medicine, education, even climate change solutions. A very optimistic view, generally.
It's compelling, that cross-sector potential. You can see how AI's ability to process data, find patterns, how that could unlock breakthroughs.
But, and this is important, it comes with a big caveat about needing wise regulation.
Right. It's not just unleash the tech and hope for the best. It's about guiding it responsibly.
So for anyone listening who's maybe a bit wary, the AI getting too powerful narrative.
The Skynet scenario, as he puts it.
Yeah, exactly. He addresses that. He doesn't seem to think we're heading for, like, Terminator robots anytime soon.
Oh, okay, good.
But he really stresses the importance of alignment, making absolutely sure AI systems share, or at least don't conflict with, human values.
And that's critical, isn't it? Ensuring AI goals match ours, avoiding unintended consequences.
Which is why he's actively funding AI safety research. Putting his money where his mouth is, basically.
Yeah, it shows he's taking those potential risks seriously, proactively. Did he mention any specific areas within AI safety that he's particularly focused on?
He didn't go into super deep specifics in this particular exchange, but the focus was definitely on that core alignment problem.
Gotcha, okay.
All right, let's shift gears a bit. Philanthropy, global health, an area where the Gates Foundation's impact is just undeniable.
Oh, absolutely. Millions of lives saved. It's not an exaggeration.
And he talked about the ongoing priorities, pushing to finally eradicate malaria, polio,
Still huge challenges.
and improving vaccine access everywhere.
Yeah.
But he also pointed to what he sees as the next big frontier,
Which is?
pandemic preparedness. He's very clear. COVID won't be the last one. We need to be ready.
That's a sobering but really crucial point. Investing now in the systems, the research, the rapid response is essential.
Yeah, not just smart, but necessary to avoid another global crisis like that.
Definitely.
He also brought up something he called an underrated issue, something not getting enough attention.
Oh, what's that?
Climate adaptation.
Ah, interesting. Not just mitigation, cutting emissions, but adapting to the changes already happening.
Exactly. He argues that even with emission cuts, many people are still going to face severe impacts from droughts, floods,
Which disproportionately affect vulnerable populations, right?
Right. So we absolutely need investment in things like hardier crops, stronger infrastructure, better early warning systems.
It's a really pragmatic point. We have to deal with the reality that's already here while still working on prevention.
Okay, shifting again, slightly more personal maybe.
Yeah.
He spoke about Warren Buffett.
Ah, yeah. A big influence on him.
But what was interesting is it wasn't just about Buffett's incredible financial skill.
No. What else?
He really highlighted his humor and his humility.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's nice to hear, actually. It shows what qualities he values beyond just, business success.
Yeah, that leadership involves more than just the technical stuff. The human element matters.
That makes sense. It paints a picture of Buffett as more than just an investor.
He also shared a personal reflection, which was quite candid.
Oh,
He
yeah?
said, looking back, he wishes he'd started a philanthropic work earlier, like in the 90s.
Wow. Really? Thinking about the impact they could have had even sooner.
Yeah, it just underscores how central that work is to him now, and maybe a sense of urgency about the time lost.
That's quite revealing. Makes you think about what specific problems he felt could have been tackled earlier.
Definitely food for thought. Okay, towards the end, there was a sort of quick fire round. Little nuggets.
Okay, like what?
Favorite book? The Better Angels of Our Nature.
Steven Pinker. Interesting choice. About the decline of violence, right? Suggests a certain optimism, maybe?
Could be biggest fear.
Let me guess. AI?
Nope. A pandemic worse than COVID.
Right. Ties back to the preparedness point. That's clearly weighing heavily on his mind.
Very much so. And his one piece of advice for young people today.
What's the key takeaway for the next generation?
Be curious. The world needs problem solvers.
Simple, but powerful. That really sums up his whole approach, doesn't it? Curiosity driving solutions.
Absolutely. So when you step back and look at this whole massive conversation, what's the big picture feel?
Well, it's clear he's still deeply engaged across this huge range of really complex global issues.
Yeah, there's optimism, definitely, about tech and innovation.
But it's grounded, isn't it? Grounded in a real understanding of the challenges, the obstacles, the need for practical action, for collaboration.
Right, it's not just techno-utopianism.
No, not at all. And what really comes through is how interconnected everything is. AI safety links to global stability, which links to climate adaptation, which links to pandemic readiness.
It's all tangled together.
Exactly. And underlying it all is that call for curiosity, for problem solving.
So maybe the final thought for you listening is, how does all this connect to your world?
Yeah, how might these big picture insights from Gates about the challenges, the potential solutions, the need for curiosity, how might they apply to what you're interested in or the problems you see around you? What sparks your curiosity?